Disclaimer: this product was provided to the author to do a review. All opinions are 100% authors and authors alone. To have your product reviewed, visit bit.ly/reviewmyproduct.
Hello everybody, Jackie from DragonBlotter.com here today to talk about the PARTU air purifier. Now, right out of the box, let me make sure it's unplugged really quick. Before you set it up, you need to, let me see if I can do this with one hand. On the bottom here, there's a bag around this filter and you need to take it off before you start using it. It is in the instructions, but I just wanted to mention it because I think that's something someone could easily overlook and then you've got a problem. So, as you can see, that's how easy it is to set up, take off, and on. And then pretty much right out of the box, it's ready to go. Here are all of the options. You have on and off, which obviously on and off. The light, which is, as you can see, the light back here, that's without control. You can really, if you just leave it on, it will rotate between all of the pretty colors. I believe there's 7. Or you can select one and say like, okay, I just want green in my background. Or just no light at all is another option. And then the Ionizer. And if you don't know what an Ionizer does, it basically creates, I believe it's negatively charged ions that attach to dust in the air and bring it to the floor, which basically just gets it out of your air. You will need to vacuum, obviously, to get them up. It doesn't, it doesn't, dissipate everything. Of course, the filter gets as much as possible, but the ions, you'll have to vacuum for the rest of the science behind it. And then the filter notification is the last little button, along with, this is a button right here in the middle. All of these are flush, so none of them are, it's all just touchscreen basically, but 3 fan speeds, which, as you heard, the first one is pretty quiet. So if it was at night and you can turn the lights off and leave it super quiet, so at least in the morning you're not waking up. If you're an allergy sufferer or something, at least your mornings are a little bit better with this running throughout the night. And also, of course, on the higher days, the harder to breathe days, there's the third one, which is still not that loud. I have another one that's significantly louder than this one. As you can see, it's a cute little small unit. It's like it's probably like as much as some of my water gallons that I drink. A little bit bigger, but about that size. Tiny little guy. When you set it up, you want to make sure nothing is blocking. This is obviously where the filter is, but there's air sucking in through there right now. So you want to make sure you don't really like a little tiny blockage here and there, fine, but you don't want you don't want a blanket around it, or you don't want your dog to completely wrap around. They wouldn't, but you don't want that. As always, a full review is down below with all of the deeper specs into the whole thing. I just basically try and cover in the videos how they work, setting them up, and then my overall thoughts on how they're working so far. So, also, I'll turn that off. The filter is a true 3-in-1 HEPA filter, which it basically has 3 layers to it, which helps remove, I believe it's 99.7% of, let me get the list, smoked particles, dust, dander, pollen, cooking odor, pet odor, essential, I have pets, mold, and then PM 2.5 pollutants, which is generally like air pollution, and I live in a downtown metro area, so all of these are important to me. I do have an air purifier tracker that I've used around this machine, and the air comes out blue, which basically means that the air is pure. So the filter's working, which, is great. Like I said, if you're someone who has allergies or asthma, this is very nice. I do have allergies. Not that bad, on the scale of 1 to horrendous. But, and I do have 2 air purifiers in my home. Both I've reviewed on this channel. This is the second one. And this year has not been miserably bad. Just gonna throw that out there. I'm not like, oh, because of this filter, for sure. I mean, I'm not a scientist deep enough to say like, oh, well, the air has actually been not that bad. I have no idea. But just a sniff, what was the scientific term? Correlation, that I have not had allergies that bad since having these air purifiers in my home this year. So that's nice. Now for the look of it, I really love, as you can see in my space, I love black appliances. I have black countertop, well, grayish. My furniture is very dark, like, so aesthetically it fits for me. You know, it's a very just minimalist design. It would fit pretty much anywhere in any corner of your house without really being an eyesore. There are some that are really big, really tall, which is good because usually the bigger they are, the more air they can clean at the faster rate. Like all of these things, if you have a large home, this is more of a like per room kind of air purifier than it is for a whole house, I would say. I live in a 400 square foot apartment, so not really a big deal for me, but just something to note. A few things I wish it had that, one I've tested and other ones I've used. I wish I had one. It doesn't have a remote, so you do have to manually just go over and hit the button. It's not really a big deal, but I do try to, I'm oh so slightly spoiled with my remote controlled ones that I'm just like, you know, I have fans in my house and other things that like, it's just nice to just hit the remote. So no fan, or no remote, which is no big deal. There's no timer on it, which, that one kind of matters to me. Sometimes I don't want them running all day or running all night. I just want them to run for a certain amount of time. And if you forget, then, I mean, your air is just going to be clean all day, which is fine. But sometimes you want to save energy or you just don't need it running for that long. And so no timer on it either. And there is no air quality sensor on it, which the other one I have has. So I kind of, I mean, thankfully I have other trackers in my home to measure my air because I'm crazy about my air quality. But only because I have those sensors do I know when my air is clean and I can kind of turn this off. Otherwise, like this alone won't tell you. You may, if you want to know, you will have to get a air quality tracker to put in your home so you know when your air is clean and you can turn it off. I think, you know, it's kind of designed to be run all the time or often enough to where, you know, I think they built it kind of like turn it on and like forget it kind of thing. Like just let it clean your air and like let it just keep doing its thing. I'm a person who likes to, you know, save on my energy bill, so I like to turn them all off when my air is clean and it's done. So there's no air quality tracker on it, but you can get one for like not that much money on Amazon if you needed an additional one. So that's pretty much it. I like the look of it. I know some people didn't like the Comic Sans text, which was such a funny complaint I saw about this unit. I don't mind it. I don't really care that much. Yeah, I mean, no complaints. I couldn't find anything wrong with it. It's a great little unit. It's pretty quiet, especially the lowest setting is very quiet. It's sleek, easy to use, and I believe the filter needs to be replaced. I saw on average, I think it's every 5 to 8 months, depending on how much you run it, probably less with constantly running it. But I saw, you know, I just showed you the filter in the beginning of the video, and I've had it for ballpark a month now, of give or take, of running it almost every day. And you saw the filter some pet hair in there because, you know, pets, but pretty clean. So I can imagine it'll last optimistically 8-9 more months, and then I'll have to change it out. But that's pretty much it. Thank you for watching. Linked, like I said, to the full review and all the specs and everything, a little bit closer up pictures and stuff down below, and also linked to it on Amazon if it sounds good, you know, you want to fight your allergies or whatever you need and you're like clean up your air. Yeah, because it's really shocking having an air quality measure, how even things like cooking, just like making a very quick plate of pasta will sometimes just make your air go crazy from whatever your stove is releasing, or if you're baking something, it's crazy. So big fan of air purifiers. That is it. Thank you so much for watching, and as always, please subscribe to the Dread and Blotter YouTube channel. Thank you.